Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. So, very quick, short, sharp vid today, or starting of a video even. We've done a lot of work to this bike, a lot of de-rusting, a lot of rust prevention. The exhaust looks great, that's all blacked out, that should last a while. The panels look great. I've been waiting for some parts. So we've got the new indicator relay, that's this here, that should just plug and play. We've got a new indicator lens, which should go into here, which should just plug and play. It's a bit cleaner than the old one, but that doesn't matter, that's not an issue at all. And you know what I'm like, when I see other people on our channels using specialist items, I just want them. So I've ordered some of this CA glue that Nick was talking about. I mean, if I can find a great super glue, then that'll be perfect. I think it was £7 online, I think, maybe. I don't know if that's good or bad. But I am a bit of a fan of super glues on bikes. Obviously not anything that comes to safety related, but panels and stuff. I think this bike looks amazing. These are the bright works that have been cleaned, just using that, oh god, what's it called, that polish? I forgot the name. Doesn't really matter, but it's been cleaned. And then you see all this old metal work that's not been cleaned. So we're going to see huge differences up here. Autosol, that's it, once we put the Autosol on. Now I'm absolutely debating with myself massively. I can get this here and this seat for £75 in yellow or cream. But it's what I do all the time and it's my heart ruling my head. I won't make that extra money back. Ultimately this is a Chinese bike, although after reading up about the company, I think this bike has some years left in it. Saying that, I should probably test drive it at some point to make that clear. So at the moment, where are we? I'm going to plug and play the new relay down there, indicator relay, and then I can't really test. I'm going to have to bring over the test panel without scraping the paintwork, plug it in, let it hang, and just make sure the indicators are flicking, because this is due an MOT and I need to get it MOT'd on Saturday ideally. I actually have a potential buyer for this bike already before it's fixed, which is great news. What I've got to do is I've got to get some fluid into the nut there. I think I did last week, but I need to do a little bit more, and then I need to see if I can get that wheel off without removing the exhaust, although the exhaust is easy enough to remove because I've done that already. And then I'm going to see if I can change the tyre. I've done one before with Jake, it was a right pain in the arse, but worth doing if you can. So let me get that indicator relay on and let me just test the electrics at this stage. Okay, so we're killing our battery, but let's use this opportunity to test everything. We've got normal lights and high beam, that's perfect, that saves me some hassle already. We need indicators, perfect, left and flashing, right and flashing, let's go, sorry, rear, lovely and lovely, great, we've got indicators. So we've got the normal rear light, now let's check the brake lights. Front is working, let's check the rear. Oh, excellent, rear is working, I hope you guys saw that. Horn, 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 we need a horn. Lovely, we've got a horn. On-off switch does not work, that's not an issue. Let me now cut this off and switch it off. Be careful with your new paintwork, guys, they scratch very easy. I want to get a layer of car wax on there to protect it, even though it's going to give it a little bit of extra shine. It's not the end of the world, it's more important that it's protected. So the majority of the work's there done. We just have a rear tyre. Rear brake is a little bit, pulls in a bit far. The MOT tester will pull it in and see how far it goes. So I'm going to have to put some extra adjustment on that, and normally the adjustment's down here, so I don't know, it might be above. I'll work that out, especially when I take the wheel off to attempt the change of tyre. So where am I now? I think I'm going to brighten up some of this bright work. Actually, I think I'm going to get some polishing done. I'm actually only here waiting for Warren to try and sort out his exhaust, which is why I'm playing here at the moment. But a bit of bright work polishing, I think, for a minute or two, and then I may start putting the odd panel on. That panel can go on, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get some cleaning and polishing going on. So let me show you the difference now. So it's all quite, you know, it's not great. It's a bit rusty. It really is surface rust though. It's all a bit rough down here. It's kind of rough looking, and I think it will just pop once I've used some Autosol on it. It will all just become much nicer. So I'm going to do some of that for a minute or two. Okay guys, nice wax layer on there. Let it haze off a bit, and then we'll buff it. What I think is going to happen to this bike, because it's thin paint, I think at times you'll see little scratches and chips and stuff, and it will just let that green through, and I think it will age really well. It will, because it's a retro looking bike, the tiny imperfections will just age really well. I think I'm looking for any, but there isn't any so far. But if it makes sense, imagine the green just coming through trickily at times. I think it's going to do the job. But for now, some car wax on your paint. Now, not too early, guys. Give your paint a week. It needs to stop smelling. It needs to be fully cured. Then some car wax, and a few layers of that will really help protect it from the sun, from, you know, scratches. Well, not really scratches, guys, but from you know, light touches and stuff like that. I'm also doing it on these panels here as well, because a couple of layers will be great. Also, a tiny bit of shine isn't shocking. So let me buff that off and see what we're left with. Okay guys, we've got that front inning panel on. You alright? You alright everyone, we've got that that ignition panel back on. That's a key panel at this stage. What was I thinking? So I've worked on the direct bike version of this at some point, and the paneling on the direct bike is so thin, it's unbelievable. It's paper thin, and this isn't. So there is a difference in some of these bikes. That panel there on the direct bike is shocking thin. Shocking thin. You wouldn't be able to do the repairs I did. By the way, here are the repairs I did. Now, you know, it's there. You can so you can see it. So one's kind of there. You can just see the pinch marks roughly. And one's there, you can see a tiny crease, but you'd never see that otherwise, would you, unless you were really, really looking, which is great news. So that panel's on and bolted, and I did some polishing of the bright work, but I haven't found the Autosol yet, so I'm going to use that stuff to get it done properly. Now, I saw some light grazing that I was telling you about, the green here. So you see this light grazing here where it's not as thick on the edges. Now I could, let me see if I can zoom in on that. Now I could touch that up, and I actually will touch that up at this stage while I can from this angle, you see. But that's the stuff that ultimately will come through. Look, a bit more down here. And I don't mind on this bike because it's got the retro look. I don't mind it doing that. It's going to be okay. So we're getting there bit by bit. Warren likes this bike actually. But I'm going to be honest, because I know he watches my channel. And he's a bit of a pain with money. He still owes me a couple $100 for the Vespa. And I think on this occasion I said to him, actually, you're going to have to pay up front. You know, he's not struggling. He's been a key worker through the crisis. So yeah, Warren or anyone else. Also, I have a buyer lined up, don't I? I've got someone very, very serious about this bike. He wants to see the bike ideally on the weekend. So great. Do I want to throw the front panel on at this stage, or am I pushing my luck time-wise? I think I probably am. Okay guys, so we're back to a stage where I'm going to be attempting to do the rear tyre. I've only done one before and it was a right pain in the arse, but it's important. Now I need to pop off this exhaust again to be able to get the wheel off. I've been spraying the wheel nut with release spray. they can be really difficult. And then I would suggest strapping the rear brake lever down and putting the bike on load and getting a long bar breaker bar to break the nut loose. And then I'm going to do that while the bike's in where it should be in its housing. So let's get this exhaust off. Hi everyone, this nut has been driving me mad. I actually went and spent the majority of my money, what I had left. I am very close to being skint now on this bad boy, but I have needed one for a long time. Hopefully it buzzes off that nut. I have a feeling it probably won't. And the problem is the nut's just getting rounded and worse and ruined, and so it's kind of my last chance without actually having to chop it properly. So I'll give that a shot this morning and see if that works. Yeah, it is worth one of these machines, but they cost a lot. I mean, 160 quid is a lot of money, guys, for what it is. But in my case, it will come in handy a lot. It will be used a lot for variator bolts, clutch bolts, stuff like that. Let me see and pray that I can buzz this thing off. That nut is so stuck, guys. It's unbelievable. I need to put the bright work on here and then start piecing it together. So I'm going to get the front end on and ready, because I might as well. I chucked this tie on too early, too quick. That caused it, well, now I need to pop it back off because I completely forgot to put the chrome on. I need to give the chrome a bit of a polish. Now, the car polish has kind of brought out the roughness in the back, but it's okay. It kind of matches the style of this bike. So that's alright. But yeah, let's get this kind of cleaned up and ready. I don't know what, my aim today was to get the wheel off and to change the tyre, ideally myself, and get it up to the guys for MOT, but I mean, they would be buzzing it off like I would now, and if they can't do it properly or quickly, then they're not going to bother on a Saturday. They don't like doing work on a Saturday, they just like doing MOTs. God, I'm going to wait. You know, I've sprayed some penetrating fluid in there again. I'm going to keep waiting, I'm going to keep working at it. It might just shock itself loose, but it's only 8 o'clock, 8 AM right now, so I don't want to be too loud. So guys, I was sitting here wallowing, and then I thought, hang on a minute, look at all that space I've got. I could take the wheel off on the bike, the tyre off. So I've broke both the beads using these clamps. Clamps can break these beads. Listen guys, fatter wheels, these are thin wheels. Fatter wheels, oh my god, they're a pain in the arse. I wouldn't even bother for the sake of 10 or 15 quid. But I'm trying to get to MOT today and they won't do it, so I kind of have no choice. If I can get this on, I'm using lots and lots of washing up liquids with a bit of water in it. If you can do this process, then good luck to you. But otherwise, get it done properly. I've got the spare tyre over there, so that's great. Let me actually get this off first before I celebrate. I'll show you guys if we have a tyre on the floor in a minute. And then I'll probably start swearing when it comes to putting the new one on. There you go guys, I'm tempted to go do some drifting. There's your tyres, that's the old one. And your new Michelin. Now listen guys, it'd be tempting to buy the £11 Chinese tyres for these bikes, wouldn't it? But if you get a chance to change them, that was 30 quid. Spend 30 quid on a decent tyre, you might as well. Now look for a direction arrow on here. Some do, some don't. There you go, directional arrow. So this tyre goes on this way, so it will be like that, okay? Because the tyre goes forward that way. The MOT failed you for a tyre that's back to front. You get failed for that. Let me see if I can get this on in good time. Lots and lots of spray. Where is it over there? Liquid water spray, lots. Getting that off was difficult, but getting this on, I've got a terrible feeling about it. If we do get it on, I'm not sure if a foot pump will seat the beads. Hopefully they will, but we'll give it a shot. Otherwise we might need to get it down to the air compressor down at the petrol station before MOT. But let's see. Lots and lots of the spray, guys, if you're attempting this. And then this bit's gonna drive you nuts. I have a feeling the first rim going on is the toughest part. I have a feeling if you can get that bit sorted, the second part should be a touch easier. Let's see. That's an interesting picture. Look, without the rear tyre. I'll take the picture. I'll put that up later. So guys, the foot pump's not doing anything. I'm going to see if the air compressor from the car will do it for now. I'm not actually sure if this will seat the bead, but we'll try. You'll see it and you'll hear it. It'll pop. So guys, I'm probably pushing my luck, but the aim here is to push the bike to the petrol station with my helmet in hand, and if the back tyre bead seals, to keep going and to take it to MOT. Let's see. The hardest part of this journey is to push to the petrol station, so hopefully it will seal the bead and put air in there. It should do. It's quite powerful. Okay guys, so Rajab's here in the background. Giving up on this for this week. What I'll do is I'll try and get it to them Thursday, I think. Get them to seat the rear tyre and MOT it. But for now, I've bought a couple of things with this bike. I bought some second-hand coils, originals though, and I've bought a carb tune kit. Now Nat's been getting a lot of great tuning going on with his kit, so I thought, how long would 2 glass bottles with liquid in last in my garage? And then I thought, what's the next best thing? And the next best thing is to buy a kit that does that anyway. So this is it's like a Mercury kit, I think. Perfect. So I've not used these before, so I don't fully know how to. I don't know if they need inline something to suppress the air or not. Possibly not. But I'll chuck them on and we'll see if we get it running. Let's chuck on the 2 new coils as well. So at the moment it does start, and it did rev last week, but it weren't it wasn't smooth enough. Okay, so while we're warming up, don't worry too much about the dial yet. It needs to have 3, 4, 5 minutes to warm up. Then we'll start tweaking the carb tune. I'll show you a bit closer at the time. Careful, careful, careful. Alright, don't want to touch him. Don't want to touch. Right, should have power. Cool. Right. Power. Let me choke it, and we'll see if, let's get fuel on. Fuel on. Fuel down here is on.
Let me know you want me to record it.
It's on, mate. Camera's on.
Okay.
It's all on.
Let me get a bit more closer.
What? Okay guys, we're back. Them jump leads, they're the old ones that went funny last time. These are much better, right? But it's where the plastic head's there, it's hard to get them onto tighter batteries. I might need to cut away some of the plastic. But for now, we're back. Let's see if we at least get up and idled, and then we'll look at fine tuning. Right, let's see, let's do the same thing. Probably starts to choke.
Nah, look, that's even now.
Hang on a minute, something. The lights went.
Huh?
Everything went.
What the?
Ah, there you go. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, it's on, it's on.
Yeah, it's slightly dodgy.
Japanese.
So the tuning is okay, it's not that far out. But you watch the drops this thing does, watch. Every now and again. See that? Did you see that? There's like a stall in the engine. Look at that, it's like a real big... a real weird stall in the engine. So look, tuning the carbs, I mean they're kind of close enough anyway. But that big drop is nuts. Look on the right cylinder, watch. See that? That's not tuning unless it's the air fuel screws. How do you get to them on here? Oh, right underneath. I might try adjusting them a touch. See? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's like a misfire.
Because it goes up perfectly and then it pop every 4 seconds.
It's so weird.
That's what the owner maybe. You need to look at it, investigate.
It could be the air fuel screws because I just set them at base.
Maybe you need to trigger it a little bit.
I might. Let me see if I can get a small enough screwdriver. Okay, guys. So I think I have decided that I am going to take the top off. I do want to check the timing. It's not worth doing all of this other work and just not checking the timing for peace of mind. We got to take all of this apart. I can't remember if it's got coolant in it or not, so we'll drop the lowest hose and drain out. I think we lost some coolant last week, and then we're going to be aiming to take the head off and see what's going on. It could be valves, it could be timing. I don't even know at this stage what I'm looking at, but let's get the head off and just see if there's anything obvious going on. Alright guys, we've got the head off, and I don't know what way it comes out. Let's work it out, and in fact let me do it camera down. Because they put engines in whole, taking this head off can be such a pain. There you go. Come on.
You should run it. They moved the sack to the
Don't go me. Right, here we go. So, what was you looking at?
That's the timer there.
Yes, definitely.
That's the timer there.
That's part of timing, yep. So there will be. See, there's lines on these cranks.
Why you got a bolt there?
Also, it's top rockers, so we can do the valves. That's good. That's alright. I dropped it early. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Thanks for showing everyone. So let's see if it will be these lines here. Will either line up together from that side or from this side. So let's crank the engine. In fact, let's look at our timing down here first. This will be our timing mark. Let's pop that open. Let's get that to top dead and see what the lines look like. It might be that they're fine, and if they are, that's great. We carry on. Okay, everyone, I've taken you off the stand. Right, I just want to make it very clear. We are at top dead center there, and I've spun it fully around. That is a T mark, okay? So up here, I've gone up, in, facing up, and an up, in, facing up over there. Probably not exactly facing up. See, in there and in there. Now, unless I've gone nuts, they should be all the way over here, and they should be facing each other. The lines should be facing each other. I'm really confused here, guys. I'm gonna have to get online and see how you time this thing. I've got a terrible feeling that it's so far out of time. I can't believe it even fired up. I've got to be honest. So I'm gonna get the timing sorted. It would be, I think it'd be in, or in and exit, or, you know, but there'll be a straight line system going on. In facing up and in facing up while we're at T. Unless it is, I need to get online and check, guys. Give me a minute. Alright, guys, so on this engine, the exhaust, they should be around more, but they don't line up. What we are looking for is this. See this dot down there? And there's a dot here somewhere, there. They're meant to be up top, and they're meant to be 24 of these. They're meant to be split by 24. So I don't know. It's a bit scary. It basically means I need to pull up the whole thing and reset it. Down here it's still on T, so it's still on top dead center there, you can see that. So it would mean undoing everything, undoing the cam chain tensioner, lifting it all off and up, and resetting it to what I think is right. I hope there's only one of them dots on the whole thing. I think there is. So you set the dot up here, and then 24. Then 24 apart would be, it would fall on the other dot. I'm gonna have to give it a shot, guys. I just don't know. I'm gonna have to try, aren't I? I don't know how someone could get it so wrong, if I'm being honest. I wonder if I set... No, that won't work, will it? They're both set. They're both off. I can't even use one as a reference. They're both off. I think someone has set this E. Look, I think they've set... Sorry. I think they've used the E. And they've done 24 across instead of that random dot. I'm going to have to undo both cams, lift them both off, loosen all of the top rockers, and yeah, basically do it all again from scratch. Scary and annoying. Alright everyone, so we've got this all kind of set up, but there isn't much slack here, which is good in one way and bad in another. So we're going to need to work out, we need to get a bit more slack. Obviously the tensioner is fully out. So let's, what we're going to do, we could take off the screws out of there. What we could do is play with the bottom end a little bit, spin it around, see if we get any more slack from this thing. That's what we're going to do, and then try and set it all back up with top dead back down here. Still in place, of course. So let's have a play. Okay guys, so T is actually kind of spot on there. So guys, what you're aiming for is the in and the exhaust here not to be in a perfectly straight line, but to be kind of in line with each other, and then 24 jumps between this dot and that dot. That's what I've set up here. That's what we've got now. We've all had a look at it. We think it's right. So now I need to throw the cam chain tensioner back in, and we need to reset the valves, which is a bit of a pain, but we're here, so why not? how on earth did it start when the timing was so far out? I have no idea. It must have been pot luck, guys. But let's see. This will be really interesting to see if it works. I'm going to use my timing method, which is just turning the lobe away and then checking them on both sides, turning the lobe away rather than messing with all the settings, and then setting them. And then I think I'm quite confident with this stuff now, so I think I'll be chucking the head all back on. We'll fire it up with no coolant to start with, very, very briefly. Just make sure it sounds half okay, and then maybe button it all back up. And tomorrow this would be a, there's the potential for this just to be a great running, nice bike. Let me get that tensioner done, that's the next step. After I've done all the hard work. Alright guys, so that is all kind of buttoned down. It should be timed, although obviously that's hit or miss. Well, it's not, it is timed, it should be. It could be off one tooth. My god, I don't know how it started last time. What I need to do now is get online and check out the valve clearances and then just get them sorted. Once they're done, it's chuck the head back on, throw the bolts in, and then I can at least fire it up just to see if it sounds or feels kind of much better. Don't forget the coolant passages there, otherwise you're screwed. I don't know if they're oil or coolant actually. Coolant, I believe, passages. But for now, it's easier to have them off to set the valves. I just need to get back online to see what they should be. So guys, the inlet, that's this side, 0.15, that's the middle of the specs. So I haven't touched these at all, I'm just showing you what you would be doing. Like that, they're out of spec at the moment. Not far off actually. So yeah, so what we need to do is turn these as far away as we can so they're pointing up, and then check the specs here, here, here and here, and then we'll do the same on the other side with it'll be probably 0.18, but I'll double check that after, maybe 0.20. Funny enough, they're the same specs as the ZL600 I did recently. Okay guys, so we are technically set up. This head is not fully set up at all. If I run this, it's going to be for seconds just to hear the engine. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm only using what fuel is in the carbs already. I'm not adding any to it. For now, I just need it to fire up and sound a little bit better than it did. Let's keep you on. There you go. Oh,
Are you ready?
oh, I'm not ready.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous. You shouldn't be nervous.
Because I worked on the bike.
You see that? That's that stall. It don't sound great.
It almost sounds like the exhaust is open at the same time as the inlet.
The concern is it being so far out last time that the valves are busted. We need to... Alright guys, 1 minute, we'll try that again. Alright guys, second start-up attempt after weird valve change. Bit of choke, bit of fuel, bit of bang. If it started better before I touched it, what does that tell you? What are we missing?
Did you put the wires?
Okay guys, so like always, well, like sometimes it doesn't go to plan. It's definitely not timed still, even though I followed the normal procedure. Now here's the concerns, okay? The actual sprockets could be on the cams upside down, Jake. That's something we didn't think about. The actual top dead center may not have been the compression stroke. I believe one's on a compression stroke and one's not, so that's something we need to keep in mind. So I need to go right back tonight to the basics, and I need to set it up from top to bottom, I think. Fully top dead center. Check that the cams and the cam, what do you call them, sprockets are on the right way round. Otherwise that messes you up immediately. And go back to basics. Well worth doing, actually. As always, you've got some interesting video for the last few days. Thanks for watching. Please throw a comment into the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on the old tamoretti. I know what some of you are going to say. Try a bit of spray and some lighter fluid. Try a bit of this, try a bit of that. I think my plan will be to hire a fan, take it to them next week and just get them to see it somehow. Or they'll have some sort of idea of how to do it. And then with this, it's back to the drawing board for now, actually, and getting it set up properly from top to bottom. Because there's a reason it was fully out of sync, but still actually starting, isn't there? If someone knew that they put the sprocket on the cam upside down, for example, then they would have been able to have worked out how to get it timed. If that makes sense, what I need to do is go back to the basics and start again. So I'm going to be looking into that tonight.